Today we're ranking the real estate gurus of YouTube on a scale from savvy investor to a little bit slumlordy, and while I might make some people mad with this one, I think it'll be fun. If you're new here, my name is Lily, and I started this channel to document my real estate investing journey and share everything that I learned with you guys. If you think that sounds like fun and want to support the channel, you can do so by either subscribing and joining the party or hitting the like button. And with that said, we are kicking this thing off with the one and only Grant Cardone. Grant is known for being a high-energy, fast-talking millionaire who owns the investing firm Cardone Capital. Although he has a huge following of 1.37 million subscribers on YouTube, I don't find his videos all that informative. He's famous for telling people that buying anything under 16 units is a complete waste of time, and in his videos he does a lot of fear-mongering.
Sell your homes. I told you guys, if you got a house, sell it. There's going to be a housing crash in the U.S. of America.
Telling people that real estate's way too hard to get into on your own.
You want to do this on your own? Go do it on your own, okay? You want to go buy that property right there? That one right there, all the way down that block.
And that the banks are all about to go belly up and you're about to lose your money.
Take your cash out of the banks that might not be solvent in the future.
So think about it. This millionaire is telling us that we need either hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars to be able to successfully invest in real estate on our own. So then we think, okay, I don't have that type of money, so I guess I can't invest. And that's when he swoops in to solve all of our problems.
If you can go buy them yourself, go buy them yourself, okay? If you need a partner like me, because I know what I'm doing, I've been doing it 30 years.
So yeah, forget that FHA loan, forget house hacking, forget all of that little stuff. Just take that money you would have invested on your own, give it to me over at Cardone Capital, I'll invest it for you, and you'll be good to go. Now, these types of big ticket investments where you're purchasing a multi-million-dollar property and getting a bunch of investors who all put in a cut and therefore own a percentage are called syndications, and they're definitely a legit real estate investing strategy. But if you are running a YouTube channel and claiming to be educating people in real estate like Grant Cardone is, I would rather you just teach me what it is that I need to know rather than tell me, hey, this is way too hard for you to do on your own and therefore give your money to me. While many of his videos are like this, either fluff, showing off his mansions and cars, or pitches to get you to invest in Cardone Capital, he does actually give you the opportunity to learn exactly how to buy apartment complexes from him. It'll only cost you $12,000. But hey, at least you're getting $8K off. I mean, that is some serious savings right there. You may have also heard that Cardone Capital stopped distributing earnings to its investors due to the economic downturn, and they claim because they're being smart, frugal business people.
As you might know, we suspended distributions. I know a lot of the haters know about this. We suspended distributions in March when the pandemic, or April when the pandemic started. As a frugal, very conservative fiduciary responsibility to make sure we keep our properties, take care of our tenants, continue to reinvest in our assets.
But I can't help but watch this video and think, like, why are you filming and showing off from the balcony of your beachfront property, but telling me that, we're so frugal, that's why we're not going to pay our investors right now. And so while I thought about putting Grant into the look at me, I'm rich category, anybody that's selling a $12,000 course has to be a guru. Next up, the man, the myth, the legend, Robert Kiyosaki. Despite having a pretty weird YouTube presence where different channels all post the same video with slightly different titles and thumbnails, I still think we've got to give Robert Kiyosaki credit for being the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. The 1997 classic was the entry point for many people to start thinking about assets versus liabilities, cash flow, and just the general fundamentals of investing. And while I definitely read this book and believe in some of the principles that it teaches, I can't help but think that the content he's put out in the 20 years since is a little bit sketchy. Especially on YouTube, it all seems set up to polarize the rich versus the poor.
Do the rich people cringe and say, don't tell them that, Rob?
Yes. Don't tell people what you know. Keep them poor.
Repeat the same concepts from his first book and funnel you into online courses with crazy countdowns, steep discounts, and the ability to work with a Robert-approved expert. I hate to say it, but 2020 Robert Kiyosaki is definitely a guru. You've probably seen this next guy, Meet Kevin, somewhere on YouTube because he puts out an insane amount of content. And while his channel isn't solely focused on real estate investing, he does work day to day as a real estate agent and broker, and he preaches solid real estate fundamentals like using leverage to buy good cash flowing deals in areas that will appreciate over time.
The same $10,000, the same 10 grand can either control a $300,000 house, or it could be $10,000 in stocks, which is going to give me 1 grand.
One thing I like about Kevin is that he's super transparent about how he got started. He got his license to be a real estate agent while he was still in high school, which I didn't even know was possible, but he did that while working at Jamba Juice after school and saving up his money. And once he graduated high school, he got his first big commission as an agent, which made him $13,000. He then used an owner-occupied loan to put $10,000 down on a $300,000 house, and that's how he got started. One thing about Kevin is that he does have a ton of affiliate links and online courses that he'll get you to buy for everything from stocks to life insurance, which he'll then get a cut of. And while the cost of his main course is pretty steep at almost $700, he does continuously update it and give people access to ask him questions about their deals, which I think is pretty cool. Overall, because Kevin gives actual in-depth advice on how to start real estate investing from the very beginning, and he works in real estate every single day, Kevin is our first entry into the Savvy Investor category. Next up is Patricia Bright, who has almost 3 million subscribers on her main channel, but she has done a second channel called The Break Platform, which is dedicated to helping people break through in terms of finances and quality of life. She consistently puts out pretty awesome content, and while she's based in the UK, solid investing advice is pretty solid whether it's in pounds or dollars or whatnot. One thing about her particular investing strategy though is that she was able to purchase her properties all cash, which means that she doesn't have a mortgage or a bank loan that she has to pay back, but it does mean that her ROI is going to be a bit lower.
So I bought one property on auction, and then we were able to find an amazing property, the one I showed you guys around on the open market. It was a bargain because that seller was really ready to get rid of that property, and we've rented that out.
There are people on both sides of this debate. Should you pay all cash or should you get a loan? But I must say, she had it like that, I can't knock her. The Break Platform doesn't have a ton of real estate investing content, but she did do a complete series where she walks you through her investment properties as well as gives people solid beginner advice.
Finding a property that you actually like, that is the right price, that is value for money, is where you want it to be, is actually kind of hard.
And I can't lie, it's nice to see a female investor crushing it because, I mean, this space is pretty obviously dominated by the guys, but you're helping change that because you're watching this video and hopefully subscribe to my channel, so thank you for that. Overall, Patricia, we love you, girl. You are definitely going into the Savvy Investor category. Let's go with Chandler David Smith next. He doesn't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but he does have 60K, which I think is a pretty large audience. Regardless, he gives solid, realistic advice for people who don't already have hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars sitting in their bank accounts.
How much money do you need in order to invest in real estate? And here is the answer. I tell everyone you should buy as much real estate as you can, as fast as you can, as long as you always have reserves. Now, some people will tell you to put down at least 25%, or some people even tell you to put down more. However, I believe that right now with how cheap interest rates are, there are incredible opportunities to get into real estate by only putting 5% or even 3.5% down.
But I do have one big problem with how Chandler does business. When he buys a property, he hikes up the rents as much as he can as quickly as possible.
And what we did with all of our tenants, whether they were month to month or coming to the end of their lease, is we wrote them a letter that said, look, we've just taken ownership of the property. We've paid a lot more than the previous owner. We've also had our taxes increase because of what we've paid for the property, but we want you to know we really want to take care of you as our tenants. So we're going to be coming through and making improvements. And in every one of the units, when I inspected it, we found certain little improvements that we were planning on making. So nothing drastic, but little things to make it better for the tenants. What we also put in the letter is that we were going to raise rents from where they were at, which was between $450 and $500, up to $800 for any new tenant that moved in. However, to take care of our current tenants, we were only going to raise rents to $750.
There's obviously a shortage of affordable housing in this country and the world, and something about it just rubs me the wrong way when I see videos of his like this. I get that you invest to make money, but in my humble opinion, raising rents this much with only 30 days notice and in exchange only fixing things that you probably should have fixed in the first place, it just is sketchy to me, and it can really hurt the people that live there. The final straw in this one for me was his response to the pandemic.
I essentially told all my tenants, look, if you pay a week in advance on your rent in full, I'm gonna give you a 5% discount on all rents.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but to me, this was just the last straw, and so Chandler, I've got to put you in the slumlordy category. Almost everyone who's interested in real estate investing knows about BiggerPockets. They are a huge education platform, and though they're starting to produce more and more in-house content, the biggest thing they do is expose you to other people's stories through their weekly podcast-style interviews. They're big proponents of the BRRRR strategy and house hacking, two terms that they're actually credited with coming up with. One thing about BP though is just watching their YouTube content won't really be enough to get everything that they have to offer. You're definitely gonna have to spend some money to use their deal calculators, purchase their books, or get access to other resources that they have. Overall though, they're solidly in the not too shabby category for the YouTube content that they put out. Next up, we've got Maxwell, who is one of the few people putting out consistent content around wholesaling. I enjoy his personality and watching how he runs his day-to-day business, and I especially think it's pretty cool that he really encourages people to learn as much as you possibly can on your own before ever going out and paying for some type of seminar or course.
Drive for dollars. Drive for dollars for at least a month before you go spend any money. While you're driving for dollars, listen to podcasts. Don't watch YouTube and drive, but look at YouTube when you're at home, your time off. Become completely obsessed. Turn off Power. Turn off all these other shows you're watching. Spend that time learning about real estate.
Since the world has turned upside down, he's been doing a lot of live streams and interviews, but before that, it was cool to get to see him go out to properties and walk through them and decide what he was looking for, what would make a good deal, and how he would evaluate properties that he might wholesale.
For instance, how much money in this flip? Cash, 15,000. That's what you said. Yeah, so 76 for purchase, material labor. 15,000 material labor.
Shout out to Maxwell. We're definitely putting him in the savvy investor category. Now, this next person I actually discovered through the ads that he runs on YouTube, and to be honest, those ads aren't very different from the content he puts out. Kris Krohn likes to show off using what I call the I'm rich montage, where he shows off his fast cars and mansions and all this cool stuff.
I've been living in mansions for the last 15 years, but I haven't been the one paying for it. In fact, my entire lifestyle, from the cars that I drive to the places around the world I go with my wife, my kids.
This is very awesome.
It's all covered by a really basic investment strategy that I'm going to be teaching you today.
And while there are some solid nuggets of advice in his content,
check out this house. It rents for $1,500 a month, and it has a value of $150,000. If I take out my phone and I say $1,500 divided by $150,000, and then say times by 100, it's going to tell me that that is 1%. Remember, anything at or above 1% means that you have a really strong likelihood of being in a really good positive cash flow situation.
most of it seems geared to prove to you how rich he is, so therefore you'll trust him when he says he can make you rich, and you'll buy into his partnership program.
The first few homes you buy, it is so important to do them right. You need a mentor. By the way, if you don't have one, click the link below and actually get with me and my team and learn about having me as your mentor, guiding you through your first few deals.
Nothing against you, Kris, but you're definitely going into the look I'm rich category. We have finally reached maybe the king of all real estate content on YouTube, Graham Stephan. Graham was one of the first real estate YouTubers that I ever watched, and although he continuously begs you to smash the like button,
smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Oh, if you want to create a passive income source that allows you to do nothing all day, but smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Of course, you could let me know by smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Much did no work whatsoever. No, I don't want to say that the last owner was a slumlord, but if it talks like a slumlord and walks like a slumlord and does not smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, then it's probably a slumlord.
Which, in his honor, make sure you turn the like button on this video blue. But seriously, Graham gives very straightforward, solid advice and talks about how he got his first property using commissions he made as a real estate agent. He also keeps us updated on the properties he buys using the BRRRR method to get buy and hold rental properties.
Now, one of the main reasons I've chosen to invest in real estate is a very simple one, but also something that not enough people fully appreciate, and that would be leverage. This is the practice in which you borrow cheap money that then goes and makes you more money somewhere else. That means that you're able to profit the difference between what you pay out and what you receive in return.
He even goes in depth to how he was able to get a house for $0.
It cost me $0. I was able to buy an income-generating property here in Los Angeles for nothing, and I think it's at this point that people are supposed to comment, it's free real estate. Well, I mean, that's kind of true, but with a little bit of a catch. I mean, we're not talking about buying a property with no money down or doing 100% financing or taking advantage of a real estate loophole called adverse possession, where you take ownership of an unclaimed property, although that would be actually pretty cool. But no, when it comes down to it, this property that I'm filming in was $0 out of pocket to own. So here's how this works and how you can do it too.
And although he started to move away from real estate content and his titles and thumbnails have gotten a little bit more clickbaity, he is still definitely a solid shoe-in for the savvy investor category. Our Rich Journey features the married couple of Amon and Christina, and they give straightforward, solid, no fluff investing advice. And what I love is that they're really practicing what they preach. They talk about how they use real estate investing to reach financial independence, travel the world, and retire early.
On today's video, we are going to show you guys a real estate strategy that we used to turn $20,000, which is a lot of money, into $400,000. We're going to show you step by step exactly what we did with the properties we used in this strategy, and I think you guys are really going to get a lot out of this.
I don't think there's anything wrong with online courses as long as they're not $12,000, and their course is very reasonably priced at $129, although I haven't taken it myself. It's also pretty cool to see their couples dynamic and how they manage investments together. I really like their channel, and they're definitely going in the not too shabby category. Coming to your YouTube feed next will be another tier video where we rank all of the real estate investing strategies. We're talking about wholesaling, house hacking, buying and holding, house flipping, everything. If you're looking forward to it, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. I post videos most Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And until next time, thanks for watching.